Rant time. Listen, there are three types of people in the hobby: sheep, wolves, and watchdogs. This video is about the rise of the hobby watchdog. And what am I referring to? Who are these watchdogs? Well, many of you know who they are. If you've been on Facebook groups, they're the admins, the guys who make sure the comps are accurate, the items are coined, they understand the rules of enforcing that people aren't scammed, and if they are, they'll help chase them down. Those are some of your first watchdogs. Those watchdogs have been keeping the hobby safe for a long time. Another watchdog, breaker culture. Years ago in breakers, you had the Brandon Cooks 99. They were one of the ones to call it out, made it public, made sure people knew about it. Reviews were written, and you stayed away from people like that. Another watchdog of the hobby. Let me bring your attention to a new breed of hobby watchdogs that we're seeing rise on YouTube. Starting with card porn. They have a YouTube channel, but I'm gonna focus on their Instagram. They've been very active here. And recently started up a little buzz with the call out on the Babe Ruth collectible, calling collectible out for the Babe Ruth. They called out PWCC recently on a auction that was won that had a white corner, which was resolved, by the way. And then just recently, someone complained about them, and they called this person out, right? Well, I'll bite and give these guys their 15 minutes of fame and post correct, blah, blah, blah. What's ethically wrong about this post? Simply reposted, complaint, blah, blah. So he goes over this, and I do encourage you to read this. But basically what you have is the wharf here saying, hey, please don't give these guys comments, likes, and shares. They don't fact check. They don't, they're just trying to make the hobby look bad. Nope, I'm gonna disagree with you, man. Anybody seeing something that's fishy going on and calling attention to it is important. That's how things start. That's how blowout form string gets pulled. Someone says, hey, did you see that break where the cards went off camera? And then, oh yeah, I did see that break. I looked at it. And then another person gets involved. That's what happens in this hobby. That's very important. And telling us not to do it, I told you there's three types of people in the hobby, and I'll leave it at that. Let me show you a couple other things here from card porn, kind of brings your attention here. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. I went to the wrong thing. I think if you scroll down, you can read this whole thing here. Anyway, I'm not going to spend my time on this. My point is card porn, as they say themselves, are one of the friendly hobby watchdogs. I want to bring your attention to a few other hobby watchdogs that I've come across and ask you to support them. And if you know of other watchdogs, let me know who they are so I can get them involved and get them, be part of the pack. We don't have to work together, but we should be sharing the same stories and bringing attention and light to where the roaches are hiding. Sean Sweeney. Now, I'll be honest, Sean is not your friendly watchdog. In his video right here, he says, not for your children, calling out the grifters, shout outs, and he gets pretty angry. And he has some very, very valid points to some stuff he's talking about. Some stuff I, need to verify, or he was just send some more information. But my point is, 90% of what he's talking about makes a lot of sense to me. And again, his voice, well, it's clearly not being heard, right? No other channels are talking about the things, the scams that are happening in the hobby, right? Sports Card Radio did a video recently on about a month ago on this guy being arrested. This is about one of the most notorious repackers in the hobby. And this repacking garbage has been going on for a long time. This guy got arrested, but it wasn't for repacking, okay? But again, repacking is one of the biggest scams in the hobby. And organizations that support it, breakers who support it, channels that are ripping it. Dude, you're supporting the wolves. So are you a wolf or are you a sheepdog? Or are you just going to tell me you're a dumb sheep? Because there's evidence to show you this is bad. Pay attention. Extreme card breaks is another. I'm calling these guys watchdogs. They are not, they haven't declared themselves anything like that. But again, puts out these videos in fake PSA slab. Brings attention to, here it is, another exposed trimmer on eBay. Trim Gary Carter rookie. I mean, just all the stuff he's bringing your attention to. And this is just in the last month. So this stuff's going on. This stuff's been going on for a while. And all the attention's been over here. Look at me, shiny bead. And I'm not even talking market or money right now. I'm talking about something that's very important that we need to pay attention to in the hobby. Breakout cards. These are young men who go to the shows. They follow trade shows. They have they do, I would say, some kind of investing comments. They, do some buying and selling. They're hustling, which is great. But they also take time to be a watchdog in the hobby, to help educate you about fakes and fake slabs they're seeing, to help stop that stuff from happening, right? I wish we saw more of the new younger content creators looking and listening to stuff like this, right? I think part of the problem is it's just kind of the way this all blew up in the last year. Another great content provider I recommend you check out and subscribe is Brandon and Brandon's Baseball Cards. He brings out your attention to repacked cello packs, vintage cello packs, and he even just shows in this video someone is faking the BBCE wrapping, right? So this is a recent video. This today. I mean, it's not even that the cards are fake. They're now, like I said, they make fake PSA slabs. They can make fake wrap, right? In fact, if you see prison boxes, you need to be suspect, even if they're sealed. Where'd they come from? Who had them, right? There's a lot of, in fact, I saw a thing today about Bowman boxes being weighed. The Bowman mega boxes, you can weigh them and determine the difference in value. And that's been going on forever. Did you know they're weighing your boxes? Guys, I mean, and this is something that can happen at the hobby shop level too. It could, not saying it does, but the snakes and the coyotes have been in the mountains for a long time. These are a few of the watchdogs. And I'll say, I reached out to Andy when I was putting this video together. I said, would you consider yourself a watchdog? Because I've been watching his channel and he's the investigator. And he does bring attention to a lot of stuff. He doesn't specifically shine a light directly there, but he's like the wise dog at the top of the hill going, there's a wolf in the bushes over there. I can smell him. And I like what he's doing, right? So the attention really needs to be, and you're seeing more of this content, I think, right now than you have in the past. And I'd like to see more of it percolate up to some of the bigger channels, some of the channels that have louder voices or larger audiences, right? To say, hey, these are some of the concerns. Maybe have breakout cards on your collaboration a little more and talk about fake slabs. Maybe talk to Extreme about some of the stuff's going on in trimming and what eBay trimming means. These guys have a lot of experience. Maybe talk to, I don't know if these guys are talking, they run their own radio show, but my point is we need to talk more about the snakes and the coyotes and the wolves. I'm going to close with a recent call out, right? Because a lot of these have been calling out things that misjustice in the hobby. I'm gonna play a little clip for you. It's not really a call out, it's an opinion, and I'll answer that at the end. But there's some very, very important points that are made in this clip. And I do encourage you to listen to the entire conversation Dr. Beckett has here, but at least this whole 15-minute clip, 15-minute clip, do listen to this whole thing. Don't just take this from me out of context and go, Ziggy's posting this and whatever, but this has been probably the most powerful sports card media I've heard this year, right here, this clip, and really, this entire clip, the whole 15 minutes to me.
Investment advice. At the time, you had by far the biggest now piece of the hobby, producing more than 1 million copies by 1993 each month. Did you really have to think about it, or did you just say, we're just going to go this way and just...
Well, it's not the right thing to do. Basically, people are born self-interested, okay? But there are boundaries that society puts up that says, you know what, this is okay and this is not. Well, Ivan, what you're saying, it's not okay, but it's not illegal.
It's not okay, but it's not illegal. Now, let me just first of all say, his question was from Rich Klein, who was asking about why did Beckett, the magazine, not give out investment advice in the 1990s? Now, I would disagree with Dr. Beckett that it was definitely probably wrong then. Is it wrong now to give it investment advice? I don't know, because my argument, Dr. Beckett, would be the market has changed a lot where it's liquid, right? Where if it wasn't for the liquidity, we wouldn't be able to feed the monster that is the hobby. Like back in the 90s, you had 3 sports to choose from. If you got a great rookie card, you're going to sell it, you sold it to a dealer, right? Who sold it to some other collector. Here today, I can go directly person to person and sell on eBay, which gives me the ability to then take that money and reinvest in the hobby. It's just a different liquidity. So telling somebody how they can get a better return on when they're liquidating a card to buy more cards is not necessarily a bad. It's one of those with great power comes great responsibility arguments, in my opinion. But what is super important about what Mr. Beckett says here is that society puts boundaries so that when these ethics, when we start to get close to them, because when money's involved, you're going to get close to the ethics, right? Because when I'm in a hobby, this is just my hobby, I can call you out for doing stuff that's wrong. If it's your job and you're trying to put food on the table, maybe you think it's okay to, slide a Brandon Cooks to 99 card out. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So we as watchdogs of the hobby are just trying to call attention to what could be or are misjustices in the hobby. And I say that because to me, if you follow my channel, I really don't care about the money in the sports cards. It's not what gets me going. I can tell you some great stories of cards I've had and sold and, breaks I've been in. And to me, it's those memories. It's the breaks I've been in, the people I met, the friendships I have, right? It's the context. I know I'm abrasive as a content creator. I know I ask some hard questions, but if I asking you a question on your YouTube channel, first of all, understand I took the time to listen to it. I listened to the whole thing, and in my perspective is not always your perspective. And I just want you to know that I care. And I think that's the most important thing, is the hobby really is about people caring, and they don't want to see other people getting screwed or, getting fleeced. I mean, dude, it's not good to run a channel where you're promoting a break and you're selling a $20 blaster box for $500 to your friends when you break up the break price. That's just not right. I understand breakers, have to make a little bit of money and they have to take care of shipping or whatever, but you shouldn't do that to your friends, right? That's what I call kind of kitchen breakers, right? They just, anyway, I hope you understand and appreciate this video. I'm going to ask you to do one thing at the end of this. And that is, if you listen to anything I said, is to go out and support these content creators. Okay. You don't have to subscribe to them, but listen to them every now and then. You don't have to subscribe to Sean, although I recommend you do, but maybe retweet his video on his rant, right? You don't have to like Sports Card Radio, but maybe listen to the video here about repacks and understand the freaking danger that repacks can do. Okay. Listen to Extreme explain about PSA slabs being fake, right? PSA slabs. It's not just Beckett. It's PSA and it's recent. Subscribe, retweet, share. Yes, do those things, because this is the light that we need to get these coyotes, these wolves, and these snakes that are wrapping products and stealing from you and me out of the hobby. Subscribe to these channels. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you all on Sunday night for the live open mic night, and back on Monday morning for Sports Cards Daily Live.